Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Get the chat set up over here. Got to put the chat in the right place. Better start my recording. Navy Thunder, for the first time the other day, expressed an interest in How to Train Your Dragon. So we started watching it, and now Gerard Butler's voice as Hiccup's dad is stuck in my head. Stoic. His name's Stoic. You're not like us, Hiccup. You're not a Viking. Yim, hello, good to see you. Jennifer, hey. Piotr L77, good to see you here as well. Jessica, Jennifer, Fly on the Wall. Kathy Joe, thank you so much for sharing the live. Greatly appreciated. Just another photographer. Howdy, everyone. Your favorite movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a damn good one. That's a damn good one. Tangled, Miranda. I digs it. Hey, Jennifer Harrison, good to see you there. Miranda, Tangled. My whole life is aggressively tangled, LOL. That's disturbing. Louise, hello in Scotland. Good to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. Claire Spark, carry the wall. Oh, nice. Candy Thunder, from 10 feet away. Thank you so much for sharing the live. Greatly appreciate that, Tater. Mel Bell, good to see you here. Kathy in Ohio, good to see you. Fat Shadow, hey. Tiffany Lynn, law-abiding citizen. I don't know that I've seen this. Janine, hello. Deconstructing Sarah Shawshank Redemption is a really damn good one, too. Raina, Danielle, Teresa, Lily, Rook, Self-Aware Mama Bear, thank you so much for sharing the live. Appreciate that, too. Danielle, you as well. Walter Nitty, The Princess Bride, that is a really good one, too. There are so many good movies out there. Roz, Deanna, Forrest Gump. Oh, Roz has another Shawshank Redemption there. Oh my God, Zach, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm not going to finish that one. Rosie Perkins, Melanie, Melbell, good to see you. Remember the Titans? Scooby-Doo, Witch's Ghost, Rosie. I like your style. I like it. Carrie Steele, Magnolias. So many good ones out there. Maria Encanto, there's a newer one. Amanda, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that. Carol, depends on the genre. I would agree with that. But if you had to pick an overall favorite, How to Train Your Dragon, agreed. It's really good. Deconstructing Sarah has a Shawshank Redemption as well. Con Air, oh snap. Let's not get started on Nick Cage. Billy, While You Were Sleeping, like Labyrinth. Jessica, that's a damn good one. Christina in Denmark, good to see you there. Peppermint Winch, hello. Samantha, love yourself some Selena. That is a good one too. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I had to pick a favorite, what it would be. I don't know. You know what? I actually really liked the movie. It's been forever since I've seen it, but Big Fish. Big Fish with Ewan McGregor. I want to say I watched that several times. It's just a really creative, really well-done movie. Dawn of the Dead. Caden Thunder, who is in the house today and will be making an appearance as Fight Club and or American Psycho. Suddenly much more concerned for your psychological well-being, son. Dear God. Armageddon, that's a good blockbuster one. Big Fish is really good, Amanda. It's really well done. All right. Frankie J's mama up in the house. Party is here. Krista, Lord of the Rings. Ooh, man. Damn good one, too. Which one? You can't pick the whole trilogy. You got to pick one piece of it. Miranda, you're welcome. We lowered the gold bar on the screen just a hair. See if that works well. An officer and a gentleman. Ooh, Brooke Hunter says, Batman, the 1989 one. You love Jack Nicholson's Joker. From what I heard, that took a little bit of a psychological toll on him. So he had to warn Heath, which obviously apparently it's a taxing role. We'll put it that way. Hey, we are tiny focused right now. We have a goal of 2K to bring Caden Thunder on screen here. He's over here brushing his beard and getting ready already. So he's ready for you. Jennifer TLS, Tony Spark, Twinkle Says, Candy Thunder, Cat Runner, Leadham, Serene, thank you so much. Gabrielle, Krista Museum Girl, Serene again, Rach H, Tony Spark, Elise. Tony Spark's trying to prime the tiny pump there. He's trying to get us going. Elise, Jen X Brat, Krista Museum Girl, Brown Eyed Girl. Thank you guys so much. Jennifer Piotr, Tiffany, Stephanie. Thank you guys so much. Frankie J's mama, Twinkle Saz, Mary, Jennifer, Amanda Marie. Thank you so much. Rebecca, I see you up there as well. Thank you guys so much. Let me flip out of this real quick and get us going. Hey, coming up today, I'm sorry, not just today, just coming up. I screwed it up, Tony. See what happened? Coming up, we have stories about family secrets, wedding drama, juicy updates, roommate drama, relationship struggles, and you guessed it, kick. Stay tuned for more drama here than a Miranda Lambert concert coming up. The first goal that we have, like I said a minute ago, is 2K Tiny Dinies to bring Caden Thunder back up. You guys had a really good time with him. Just don't let it go to his ego, okay? You got to keep him humble here. So the questions that you're asking when he's up here, let's keep him real. He went and got a haircut right before the stream and everything. He is dolled up for you. Serious. Did you put the beard balm in though, Caden? There's some beard balm in the bathroom. Of course, he says. Of course. Hey, last week you guys absolutely crushed it. We had a record-breaking stream with the likes and the gift goals, and we hope you can help us crush it even further today. We ended up being ranked number 16 in the U.S. for streamers last week, which is insane. Big round of applause for you guys. So the question becomes, can we do better this time? We can't just stay comfortable there, right? We have to one-up ourselves. Gen X Brat subscribing and staying a member of the Storm for month 3. Glad to still have you here. We have an overall goal of 1.5 million likes today. I almost said 3 because it said 3. 1.3 is what you guys ended up hitting last week. And I know some of you didn't have fingerprints left after that. Thank you so much. I hope you've healed up enough since last Wednesday to take another run at it today. And by the way, if you tap like enough times to not have a fingerprint, then you won't have fingerprints. And if you ever needed to do something that involved not having fingerprints, that would be the time. Just saying. So 1.5 million likes today. We do have the goal meter bar. We're already at 2% up there. Let me enlarge it so I can actually read it. 45K out of the 1.5 million. You guys are already well on your way there. Thank you so much for that. A new episode of the Dusty Thunder podcast with Josh Smoots comes out this coming Sunday at noon. So be sure to subscribe to YouTube for all of the updates there. It'll also be out on all of the other podcast channels like Spotify as well. Hey, my buttons are working today. If you were here for the Monday stream, my buttons are working. We're all good. The Wheel of Thunder. It's too much fun. The Wheel of Thunder is back today, and the top 10 gifters and 4 members of the Storm, 2 new and 2 existing, will go on the wheel at the end of the show. We will spin it during the VIP live, and the winner, if they are in the U.S., will get a free sticker, all 3 free sticker bundles. I put them in this little bluey bag just to keep them safe here. I realize that bag is noisy now. Sorry about that. We have our all 3 sticker bundles that you will get sent to you. If you are not in the U.S., you'll get a discount code for the swag store. The Thunder and Spark episode 2 is out now. Make sure you're following Candy Thunder 1 and Tony Spark _ on TikTok here. They actually have a Thunder and Spark Instagram account as well that I suggest you follow too. We have a big subscriber goal right now of 500 subs today. If you haven't subscribed yet, today is the day to get that done. You'll get the perks like custom emotes and access to our fun VIP Facebook group. And if you're already a sub, make sure that you check and know when it needs to be renewed and keep up with that so you can keep all of them juicy perks. We have a bunch of really good follower submissions today that Tony Spark has farmed for us, and we alerted OPs again ahead of time. So OP, if you are in chat and want to claim your story, please do so. You know what to say there. Kim subscribed for the first time and became a member of the Storm. Welcome to the fam. Glad to have you here. One more thing. For those of you in the U.S., we just decided today to launch a coupon code at dusty-thunder.com for the sticker packs that we have left, the sticker bundles. It is DustyLive20. You won't see that code or hear it anywhere else, only for you on live. DustyLive20 for the sticker pack bundles will be good through this Friday. So let's rock and roll. Amy, you think I need to do a live as Moira the entire time? That would be difficult to keep up. At some point. Tanya, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, okay. Audible. It's not even the first story yet, Tony. Changing the plan on me before the plan has even begun. Okay. Okay. So Candy Thunder, Candy Thunder made the executive decision here and enforced the Audible. So our first goal is actually now Caden Thunder and the update story. I don't know if you guys know the update story that we're talking about here. That is the financial infidelity one. You saw the update yesterday. You saw the original post Monday. Is that right? Saw the original post Monday. So it's fresh out the oven. Fresh out of the oven. Nisi, good to see you here. Nancy, hello. Glad to have you here. Gemma, Tony Spark, any update from the email you sent to that person? Not sure what is about. Remember the Titans, Frankie J's Mama. That's a damn good one. That's a really good one, too. Raina, Jennifer, Elise, Izzy Bear, Stephen, Kim, TLS, Eviek, 81, Kim again, Raina, Stephen, Jennifer, Courtney. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. Really appreciate that. Quacky. I'm sorry. Words are hard. Quack in 1992, Mama Beck, Beth Ann, Twinkle Saz, Creepy Spice, Jennifer Miranda, Stephanie, Hazel Love, Shy, Amanda, Piotr L77, Tanya Needle, Shy, Sigrid Dur. Thank you guys so much for the gifts, sending those through. Candy Thunder, I see you up there as well. Thank you guys so much for keeping that train moving as we head toward hitting that first goal. We are at 740 of 2K right now. Tiny Dinies, if you are gifting, that is the focus right now to get the bonus story and Caden Thunder. In the meantime, shall I entertain you with a follower-submitted AITA story? Let's do this. Okay, our first story here is, Am I the astronaut for crying and ruining my husband's birthday weekend? For my husband's 40th birthday, I, 37 female, planned a small weekend getaway to the mountains. I booked a hotel and whitewater rafting trip, found a sitter for our kids, and filled the hotel with balloons. I got a cake from his favorite bakery and packed all of his favorite snacks for the drive. We've had a rough couple of years and haven't taken a trip alone together since we had kids, so I was very excited to get away and relax, just the two of us. The first 2 days of the trip were great. On the third day, I had planned for us to drive to a nearby ski resort and explore, take the ski lift into the forest, and enjoy a late lunch before driving back home. The night before our last day, his friend called him and offered us an hour driving on his four-wheelers, and my husband replied, "That is way more fun than what we had planned." Okay, I can actually do this now. He never asked me if I wanted to switch the plans, he just did it. As we drove to the cabin to get the four-wheelers, I tried to put on a good face and go with the flow. It was his birthday weekend and I wanted him to have fun, but the more the day wore on, the more hurt I felt. I had to wait a long time for my husband to access the four-wheelers. I was dressed for exploring a ski resort, not riding in four-wheelers on dusty roads, and my clothes and shoes were completely filthy when we finished. I offered a few times to drive us to the ski resort, but he turned me down and said he didn't want to do that anymore. At this point, there was not much else for us to do in the tiny mountain town and nowhere to eat, so he decided to end the trip 4 hours early and head back home. I was crushed. I felt like he didn't even like what I had planned, changed plans without consulting me, and didn't want to be alone with me anymore. I felt unappreciated. I still wanted to preserve the weekend, so I didn't say anything and got very quiet. He kept asking me if I was okay and if something was wrong, and I would just say everything is fine. That sounds like a Tony Spark. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Fine doesn't mean fine. He kept pushing, and I ended up breaking down and sobbing, yelling that he didn't appreciate anything that I had done for him that weekend. He said that he had asked me several times what was wrong and that I could have spoken up at any time, and said that I really wanted to go to the ski resort, but I never did. I felt like when I offered to drive to the ski resort, that was a clear sign that I wanted to go, and I didn't want to push him into doing something he didn't want to do on his birthday weekend. We argued almost the entire drive home while I cried. I feel terrible for not keeping a brave face and for crying and yelling, but I am also still really hurt. I feel like this is how we will remember his birthday trip forever, that he was insensitive and we fought and I cried, instead of the fun we had the 2 days before. Should I have said that I was excited for the ski resort and told him no to riding four-wheelers? Am I the asshole for breaking down and crying and ruining his birthday trip? Interesting. Kim says NTA, but also a ski resort in the summer. I'm guessing if it's a ski resort, it's an area where that still makes sense. We're at 50% of our goal with the Tiny Dinies right now. Let's keep them going. So this one's a little bit complicated. Yeah, say Wickles. So that's the interesting thing there. Sarah Snyder, where do you enter the discount code? If you're on the website trying to purchase the the sticker pack, if you add the sticker packs to your cart and then start checking out through that process, there should be a place to do it there. We can dive into that a little bit more if we need to, but it should present itself pretty clearly. Kim, they need to communicate better. She can't be too upset if she agreed. Yeah, so this is tough. Is OP here, by the way? Any OP is here? Or any I'm the OP messages up in chat? I assume not. Otherwise, it typically blows up pretty quick if OP is here. So this is really tough because on the one hand, yes, it is his birthday. On the other hand, with this is a married couple, right? Husband, yes. And it was his 40th birthday. So 37 and 40, those are the ages that are in play here. On the one hand, yes, it's his birthday. On the other hand, he, as a party in a married couple, has to be mindful of how he's being received or how his actions may have rippling effects on the relationship in his marriage. Has to at least be mindful of it. In this case, wasn't aware of that at all and was really only focused on the fun stuff that he wanted to do. He said, or OP says down in here, that he says he asked several times what was wrong, but it sounded like, at least in the initial telling of the story, that didn't happen until after everything was done. When he said, I asked several times, and that she could have spoken up at any point there, made it seem like he was asking earlier on. If that's the case, that is a factor that changes things a little bit because it's an opportunity. If OP was given more opportunities to speak up and express herself here earlier on, that does have an impact. If it's an after the fact, like, hey, everything's done, there's no way to change anything now, but what's wrong? Then that's a different thing. I understand OP's position here, like not being conflicted. Like, am I allowed to care? Because it's his birthday weekend. I am hurt. And again, you can't be an asshole for feeling away. You can only be the asshole for how you act on those feelings. Lexi Jasmine, thank you so much for throwing those tiny dinies in. We're trucking right along. 1241 out of 2K. I understand the position you're in here. So you felt something. Those feelings couldn't help but ooze through your expressions or your demeanor, I'm sure, but you didn't plan on confronting him. You plan on salvaging the weekend. I understand that. Now, what you did act on was after he pried it out of you. And that's something we have to consider too. This wasn't something you just belted out. This is something that he kept asking and asking and asking until you finally let it out. So he asked and come what may in that regard. So this is tough. I don't know if this is an everyone sucks here because everybody could have handled something differently, or if this is an NTA on OP's part, and husband probably should have done something differently by thinking about what his actions would cause here. Thoughts? What do you think? Brooke says it was his birthday weekend. Can't bill it as such and then get mad when he does what he wants. I understand that, and I think OP understands that too. But the whole thing is, like, you can't help but feel something there, right? Are you trying to tell me something, Tony? Oh, I see your cursor right above there. It just looked like you were getting ready to type something. Gotcha. Everyone should have communicated differently. Creepy Spice, I think you're right there. M, I think you've got it here. So for furthering that narrative, everyone should have communicated better. No one's the asshole. We might be there. Unfortunately, we don't have a rating for that. The closest thing we have is an everyone sucks here because everybody should have done something differently, which actually, if we're referring to the scale here, if you should have done something differently, that's an ASCON 3 thing. It's on the ASCON scale. It doesn't mean they're an asshole for it. They're a little bit of one because they both should have done it differently. Or did OP, maybe OP is a 4 here because she could have done it differently. But the information was pried out of her. And maybe hubby in this case is a 3. Either way, if they're both registering on the scale here, I think we have an everybody sucks here because everybody could have or should have done something differently. Sigurdur, damn, sent the wrong bear. Well, that's fun. Again, we are Tiny Diny focused. We're at 1320 of the 2K. Thank you so much for everybody that's contributing there and supporting the stream. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We have almost all follower submissions today too, which is really stinking cool. So thank you so much for sending everything in. A quick note before we start diving into our next story here. This cup, which I used last time and I forgot to talk about last time, has this nifty little wooden lid on it as well. I just had it off of there. This cup is a new thing here that is from Inclusive Neuroverse. It was made by a 7-year-old boy who is autistic named B with the help of his parents. And he's hoping to bring awareness to others in the neurodivergent community. So, of course, we wanted to help support that. If you search Inclusive Neuroverse on Etsy, you will find this. And it's something I think you can feel really good about supporting. We are at 1440 of 2K there. We are at 250K likes already. Wowza. Wowza. And 461 of 500 on the members of the Storm, the VIP group here on TikTok. Holy Jill Talk, I think I remember you talking about that before. Very cool. Also, hey, Caden Thunder, can you hand me that turquoise looking box right over there? We have a new partnership. You may have heard us mention this before, but the trytreats.com, we actually finally got to try and redo. We got to redo that, and it is going to be featured on the Tony Spark podcast. We have a separate video for TikTok that's coming out for it as well, where we reviewed snacks, and our box came from India this time. It was Korea last time. The Korea one is where the tech gremlins ruined everything, so poop on that. This one was really good, and that's 2 really good times in a row. So it's a pretty cool thing that we are really digging right now. And they did give us a coupon code that we can share with you as well. That code to use at trytreats.com is Dusty Thunder, all one word. And you save 15% on your first box through there. So that is a very cool thing. I don't know where to put the box. Throwing it back there. Pam K, we just got through the first one. Yes, sorry. We did not do the update yet. Nope. We are getting close. We are at 1440 of 2K, and again, that brings Caden Thunder on, and we get to read the update for the financial infidelity story. That's a hard phrase to remember. It's just difficult. Not sponsored by Hidden Valley Ranch Ice Cream. No, surprisingly, they have not reached out to us with a firm offer yet. I mean, we talk them up so much. I think the Try Treats unboxing video that we made for TikTok will actually come out before the Tony Spark podcast, because that podcast, we have the Josh Smoots one coming out this Sunday, so Tony's will probably be a couple of weeks from then. Have Tony talk to him, Misty. There you go. Yeah, Tony talk to them. Elise, I want to hit the goal, but after my meeting is over. There's a really quick way to end meetings. Rook, I haven't looked into it yet. I haven't dove into getting Twitch dolled up yet. Darla says, I don't care who calls me today. I missed most of the live Monday. Everyone can wait today. Shadowcat, yeah, it was a ranch ice cream thing. That's Shay baby, yeah. Also because Tony Spark talks smack on him all the time. All the time. Dipping fries in Wendy's Frosties can't be beat. Jay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You just hang up. If it's a Zoom meeting or something, just boop. Oh, having connection issues. Start bringing up. Boop. We lost her. Oh no. Claire in Ireland, good to see you there. Rebecca, thank you so much for the tiny dinies there. Lexi, you as well. Candy Thunder, Shaz, Candy Thunder and Tony Spark are trying to push us over the line there. 1641 of 2K. We're crawling there. We are crawling. Ruby Redhead, Tristan 775, Blessed Mama, Steffi, Tammy, Miranda, Pam K, Lexi again, Jennifer, Melissa Riffle, Mel Bell, Tammy, Blessed Mama. Thank you guys so much for supporting that and helping us get there. We greatly appreciate it. The second story that we have here is the follower submission. I was trying to give us enough time to maybe hit that so we could get Caden and that update story on here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into the second story. Is that all right? My producer crew. Tony Spark, it's fine.
Rapidly firing off.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh.
It's rapidly.
They're just going to be like, just vamp. Just vamp. It'll be fine. Start doing a little dance.
Yeah, we're 200 away.
Jay, thank you so much. Arizona? Lele? Is it? Okay, is that Lee spelled two different ways, or is it Lee? Leah? Ooh, Holly Jill talk Frozen. Wait. Are you saying like the screen is frozen, or Frozen is your favorite movie? Now I'm confused. Abigail over there in Devon, UK. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I was frozen for a second. Sorry. Jules, why do I feel like in a Vegas casino when you watch this show? And Wednesdays are so much different than Mondays, because Mondays are just story focused. Today is gamified, hardcore, and it's fun. It's a fun change of pace. I don't know that I could pull off that level of excitement at for the Monday nighttime lives at 10 p.m. Kristen, what happened in the story that's getting the bonus update? Well, I'll read it to you here momentarily. It'd be much easier for you to hear it. I have a firm policy where I will not read a story until I'm reading it to you guys. I blind react to everything. I'll hear snippets and I try to ignore them, but the couple of things that I've heard from the update to the update are like, not all of them, which brings me to another point here that I can talk about real quick while the ambulance goes by. We are getting ready to roll out the memberships for YouTube here real soon. We'll be able to officially talk about that next week once we get all of our assets ready for it. You got there? Okay. All of the previous lives that aren't currently available on YouTube. Yeah, I see. I just wanted to finish my thought before we dove into it. All of the previous lives that aren't publicly visible right now are part of members only playlists that will be accessible by those members as well. So we already have a lot of content to throw on there. Okay, we got there. Let me get our confetti back up and thank some folks who made this happen here. TLS Journey, Tristan 7755, Willow Queen 87, Jenny Sue, Elder Gray Guy, Candy Thunder 1, I'm sorry, that was Elder Gay Guy, Elise Newman, Quackin 1992, Kiyoshi, AK Mary, Fluffy Buddy, Tony Spark, The Cursing Classic, Pam K, Brian Shep Jones, Siri H79 Iceland, Ruby Redhead, Piotr, Jill's Realm, LMD 10, Tawny M, Brown Eyed Girl, Dylan Sprague, Twinkle Saz, Mama Jams. I have to say Mama Jams for some reason there. Kellyanne, Tiffany's Country Crochet, I believe. Valerie Shadowcat, Tanya Needle, Phyllis Bailey, Lexi 2122, Fly on the Wall, Miles Griff, Hazel Love, Creed Duchat's Mom, Justina Josfadzi, Lydia Trent Music, Shy 208, Holly Jill Talk, and Sorry What XO. Love the username, by the way. Let me get the next one set up real quick, and then we will get Caden Thunder on here, and then we'll read the story. You want me to read the update and then bring Caden on? Yes, okay. Gotcha. We got to get that story out there. Okay. I can't tell you what the next one is quite yet. I've got to set it up first. Oh. How many of those are we doing? Okay. Type faster. Must read update. Okay. Perfect timing with the music there. That was perfect timing. It was great. We have a goal of 700 cake slices coming up next to bring out our first reward cake story. In the meantime, it has been requested that I get this update read to you as quickly as possible. Is that number 3 here? Yep, I'm on it.
Correct.
We're on it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the update to the financial infidelity story. Update for husband accused me of financial infidelity. First post, husband was furious that I spent $5,000 on a gaming computer, desk, and chair, even though we are high-income earners in a great financial position, and I use my own allotment of fund money within our established rules. Second post, husband told me he was actually upset that he feels I'm not professionally ambitious enough because I'm not on the executive track like he is, and that despite my working full-time, he wanted me to cook fancier meals, set the table in a more elegant way, and dress up for more dinner. and dress up more for dinner. Yes, like a 1950s housewife. Update. So, the more I thought about it, the more his requests, demands really, were sitting poorly with me. I decided to try a little experiment over the weekend to see what would happen if I tried to meet some of his demands. Not because I actually thought they were reasonable, but because I increasingly had the sense that the goalposts would just keep moving and that I was playing a losing game. So, Saturday morning, I went to the salon for a glow-up, haircut, fresh highlights, mani-pedi, then went to the farmer's market to pick up fresh flowers for our table and assorted other gourmet ingredients. Saturday is usually our date night out, but I suggested we stay in so I could make us a special dinner. Steakhouse style, lobster bisque, bread basket with several types of rolls and savory muffins made from scratch, crab stuffed mushrooms, filet mignon, au gratin potatoes, white chocolate mousse topped with raspberries. Holy crap. That sounds amazing. Yeah, she gave it the full throttle test here. She's like, oh, if he don't like this, I know something's going on. I wore a lavender, his favorite color on me, sheath dress, and high heels and fully done hair and makeup. For all that, I got a lukewarm, thanks, it was tasty, and a kiss on the cheek. Boop. Of course, I did all the serving and cleaning up. Sunday, we usually go out, but he suggested I make us a brunch at home. So I made French press coffee, mimosas with fresh squeezed orange juice, Belgian waffles with a bananas Foster topping, eggs scrambled with Parmesan and fresh herbs from our garden, roasted fingerling potatoes, and maple glazed bacon. I wore a blue sleeveless sundress, wedge sandals, again did my hair and makeup. Again, I got a, thanks, it's good. And no help with serving or cleanup. Okay. All right, bro. Afterwards, I asked if this is what he had in mind when he critiqued me before. He said that it was a start, but that I was acting very entitled for wanting credit for basic adulting. If this is basic adulting, then he's failing hard, right? Because he's not holding himself to these standards too. And also, more of these. He then dropped a bomb that he was being so hard on me because he had realized lately I had a lot to make up for due to my being a low-value woman. Okay, hold on. Time out. At some point, you have to look at somebody like this and be like, okay, you're just trying to detonate something. There's no way that someone would actually be shitty enough to say these things to someone and mean it. There is a way that someone would be saying these things in order to just like cowardly end something or set something ablaze. That's it. For a reaction. And that reaction probably being all right, we're done. It's through. Because then it's easy for him, right? The fact that he let this shit come out of his mouth and everything else that had already came out of his mouth. He went to AskCon 1. He planted a flag. He went to like the next universe's AskCon 1. This dude is touching every AskCon 1 in the multiverse. And this is impressively shitty. Okay, game on. I asked what on earth he meant by that. And he said it was because I wasn't a virgin when we met. What the fuck? What? Okay. The next thing he's going to bring up, he's like, I'm really disappointed. I'm really, really disappointed that your baby pictures are ugly. I'm really disappointed that you weren't hot as a baby. Disappointed that you came in runner-up for Miss Alabama. This stuff. So OP even says here, what? Keep in mind, we started dating at 21. Neither of us claimed to be virgins or stated that as an expectation. Except for very religious people, neither of us is. I don't think most 21-year-old college students are virgins. I was upfront with him then that I'd been with two previous partners, my high school boyfriend. We went our separate ways when we went to different colleges in different parts of the country. And another boyfriend I'd had my first year of college. And that's it. Both committed relationships and nothing casual. He then went on to say that because of my low value, I was going to need to be making up for it to him for the rest of my life, that I didn't deserve monogamy or equal treatment, and that I was lucky to anyone at all. And I was lucky that anyone at all wanted to marry me, and that he's connected with someone from work. So if I wanted to keep up with him, I'd better step up. Okay, here we go. There's the big reveal, everybody. There's the big reveal. Okay, so he's revealed his master plan here. His master plan is he has connected with someone at work, so he's already cheated with her, right? I think we can assume that right now. There is more to the story, though, but just a timeout to recoup or regroup here. He's connected with someone at work, and he says his wife is going to have to be paying for her low value, making it up to him for the rest of her life. So he's essentially either trying to knock her self-worth down so low that she accepts what's happening here and is like, yeah, I deserve this. So he's trying to narcissistically gaslight the holy hooey out of her right now. Or the backup to that plan, or maybe the original plan and her accepting it is the backup, is to detonate their relationship so it's not a choice he has to make. It is then chosen for him. By him saying all this shit, he is making the choice, though. That's what Brozo does not realize here. Okay. Game on. I told him it didn't sound like there was anything to keep if he no longer loved me or even liked or respected me. Told him to leave, and he said he would gladly go to his girlfriend's place. Oh. Not just someone you connected with at work. It's been going on enough for you to call her girlfriend. Talk about moving goalposts, dude. I know so many people here insisted he was having an affair, and I just didn't want to see it. That his complaints were really all part of a campaign to distance himself from me. Or beat you down so you'd accept it, and he could be polygamous, and that's kind of where he was going here. He said you didn't deserve monogamy. So he had a seed of maybe she'll be okay with this in there. I feel so foolish for just thinking he was going through a stressful time at work, or that he genuinely wanted to work on our marriage. Anyway, I have taken the week off from work to get my head together. Have an appointment with a lawyer tomorrow. Canceled the marriage counseling appointment, but got a referral to an individual therapist who can do an intake session with me later this week. He and the girlfriend apparently are coming this evening to get more of his clothes and things, so I have to brace myself for that. Also, please be assured I do not think I am low value in any way. I let my husband make me think less of myself on some levels for a short time, but now that I truly see it was a him problem. Obviously, we don't share the same goals and values as he has become someone I don't recognize. Coffee burp, sorry. He has become someone I don't recognize. I know the divorce won't be fun or easy, but I will be okay. Thank you all for helping me see that I was being played before I wasted too much more time in a marriage that was already over. I mean, yay, but shit. So, here's something funny. And now for the rest of the story. Thank you to OP for following through here with an additional update, an update to the update, and with some finality and closure in there. And I'm glad. I mean, this is where these stories and being able to give feedback, not just here, but in the Reddit community and AITA readers overall, which there are a ton of on TikTok, and we're big fans of most, if not all of them. Nothing but respect for them. And for those of you out there who watch multiple AIT readers, good. You can love us all. We're not about comparing ourselves to others or shitting on them at all. This is where this community is so actually helpful, because people give feedback and help people see things that they wouldn't otherwise have seen themselves. And in her case, she didn't see something that I didn't see. The first story, the very first original post, where it was just, it was him getting pissed off because she wanted to spend a chunk of money on a gaming setup, and he blew all of his fun money, so he was butthurt about it. I did not see then that this was going to lead to him already being cheating and trying to narcissistically gaslight, beat her down so that she either submitted and accepted polygamy, or that she would just leave and make it easy for him because he was a total jackass, brozo, ASCON 1 coward. Can that be his official title? I got to remember all that. I forgot it already. Brozo, ASCON 1, Yeah, I lost it. Coward was in there. I know that. Lydia, yeah, it was that story. It all spawned from there, and so many of you saw it. So Candy Thunder saw it. Tony Spark, did you see it with the first post? Could you tell where this was headed? Candy Thunder could. And is it because it's like, how could you see it and we couldn't? That's my question. It's like, how? She says because women know mind games and men don't. But it was the dude doing the mind gamery, though. That's where I'm like, if it was a guy doing it, or you think it was the side piece from work that was orchestrating all this and manipulating him and puppeteering on him on what to do.
No, he was trying to blow up their relationship by picking apart every little thing so that she would want to leave.
Okay. Yep. So what she saw from the very beginning was that he was trying to manipulate her into leaving him, basically. That cowardly route, right? I'm going to do so much damage in such a short amount of time to this relationship that it's going to implode, and that will make my decision easier. That way, I am not leaving her for someone else. Our relationship just happens to end, and I just happen to be with someone else afterward. Kara's one says Candy has 2020 ASCON goggles. She pointed at me. That's why she says I'm always at ASCON 3. That's my floor. Sometimes I go a little higher. My point is, I didn't see it. With the first story, didn't see it. Second story, I was like, oh crap, okay. And then it was confirmed with the update to the update. I'm like, wow. Just wow. Lexi says these small arguments are very rarely just about the one thing, usually underlying issues. I get that. But something this manipulative, this level of dedication to avoid having to man up and do something where it's just admitting that he met someone else and that he no longer felt the way for her that he needed to feel for her. How much less pain would it have been for everyone if this had just been I'm going to be honest with you conversation instead of trying to oh my gosh, Game of Thrones, the evil queen, on Jaime's sister, what is her name? Cersei. I could not remember. I was drawing a complete blank. This is like Cersei level of fuckery, right? This is Cersei level of manipulation, of playing the game. The damage that he was willing to inflict to not have to do this hard thing with telling the truth and being honest and being a man about it is one of the most cowardly things that I've heard. This is absolute horse shit. Terrible. But tying it all back together, because of the community out there helping her see something that she did not see, and neither did I, in the beginning of this story, she was able to reduce the pain that she would have endured greatly and test it, verify it, and then begin the process of moving on from it, which is amazing. So, heck yeah. As a reminder, we have a goal of cake slices right now. We are at 161 of 700 on those right now. We do have a cake story. We have 3 reward cake stories ready for you. So if you want to get that party started, that is sitting there right now waiting. Please remember to like and share the stream as well. We want to be climbing up those rankings again. We know we can do it because y'all did it last time. You did. You done did it. And we got more people here now. We can rock and roll. We can do this. We can absolutely do this. Also, as a reminder for those of you gifting right now, we have this coming up at the end of the stream today. Wheel of Thunder! Tony Spark loves seeing his super emoji face up there. He loves it every single time. That is coming up, and the top 10 gifters, or I'm sorry, was it top 10? Is that right? Top 10 gifters from today, plus 4 members of the Storm overall, 2 new, 2 existing will go on there. We'll spin, and if you are in the U.S., we will send all 3 sticker packs to you. If you're outside of the U.S., we will send a discount code for the swag store for you. So that is going on as well. We have YouTube membership announcement coming out next week. Be on the lookout for that, and it is going to involve access to some members only playlists that are going to include some really juicy longer content, more and expanded Stories to Sleep 2 library. It is going to include playlists with previous live recordings, all kinds of cool stuff in it. So look for the official announcement on that. We're just finishing it out and polishing it off right now. So make sure you are subscribed on YouTube And pay attention next week to the live streams, because that's probably where we'll make our first announcement on it. Part of the goal that we have not touched yet was Caden Thunder coming on and saying hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you, maybe for the first time, if you weren't here last week, Caden Thunder. Oh my God, it's Caden Thunder. Oh my God. Here.
Oh, you want me to wear these?
Yeah, go for it, man. Say hello, chat. Ask him some very difficult questions.
Hey, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Fucking effortless.
We are getting cake stories today. We have a cake goal right now, so keep sending those cakes, and we'll get one. We'll get one coming up here soon.
Cake slices.
Cake slices. Yeah, they say that I need an AI.
You need an AI?
That's what Cracker said. We need an AI for Caden.
Oh God, what are you doing? Why are you pressing buttons?
Sorry.
Oh no.
What did I do?
Well, you quit clicking on random things.
My bad. I just got so
There you go.
excited.
Jamie question here. What did you think of the last story, Caden?
Oh man, we need to get out all the A1 sauce for that guy. That's
Wait.
that was bad news.
How long have you had that line ready?
If you guys were paying attention, I typed that in the comments too, but I liked it, so I said it again. I thought it was too good to not say.
Yeah, that's good.
All the A1 sauce for that guy.
All the A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
New
chicken
t-shirt.
cake, Miranda. Yeah.
Yeah, chicken cake.
Chicken is the cake. Hey, we also talked to Caden and made him aware that that for part of the last live he was doing this with his hands.
I don't know why.
So now he's like putting them in his pocket to try to keep them controlled. He's got the I don't know what to do with my hands thing.
I wanted to be doing something with my hands so I could look, but instead I just did this. So, yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Oh man! Oh, someone's saying, why are we attacking A1 sauce? No, that's not an
No.
attack. That's just brilliant.
Ascon 1 sauce. A1. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Not to be confused
That
with
was
the
too
steak
good
sauce.
to not be previously prepared.
Hey, just a reminder, guys. Last week we did amazing on those likes. You guys blew it up, so we're trying to hit 1.5 today. So keep tapping those fingers keep tapping those fingers until they break and stuff. Also, I'm curious, what were some more of your guys' favorite movies? Because I like reading about those. I'm definitely a movie guy.
Mel Bell, you're right. That's going to be a shirt. Faux show.
Yes.
With Caden's face on it.
Princess Bride, Avatar, John Wick. I love John Wick. Definitely. Which Transformers is your favorite one? Because we're at like 7 now.
Top Gun. Ooh.
Top Gun.
1 or 2.
Yeah, well, there's Maverick was the second. Yeah, it's damn good.
Evil
Second
Dead.
Lines. Forrest
Did
Gump.
you,
yes.
Tegan, did you see the new Evil Dead? What did you think of that? Like Evil Dead Rise?
The Greatest Showman. Oh, that's a damn good one,
The
too.
Greatest Showman is a good
Reservoir
one.
Dogs. Oh, classic.
The first Transformers would probably be my favorite one.
MI5. Rambo. OG. Blythe. Yeah, heck
Kingsman.
Yeah, that's great.
Kingsman is a good one too. Anything Marvel, I do love Marvel movies.
Gosh dang, how do you choose? It's just impossible.
Evil Dead Rise was absolutely amazing. Yep, you are right. I saw it in theaters.
That's
super.
That's his jam.
Super, yeah. I like horror movies and stuff. That definitely great movie.
Oppenheimer.
I'm very excited to go see Oppenheimer.
When does that
actually.
come out? This weekend?
I think it comes out this weekend.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow or Friday.
I want to go see Oppenheimer and Barbie on the same day. How about you guys?
I wish we had an IMAX nearby
Yeah.
for Oppenheimer. That would be amazing. Vin Diesel, Angie? Just anything Vin Diesel?
Fast and Furious. He's Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Back to the Future, that's darn good too.
Yeah, I like the Ash versus the Evil Dead.
He thought it was a younger me, Vicky. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those filters.
Shaun of the Dead is a good one too. I like that one.
It's one of the TikTok filters. Barbenheimer. There you go. That's what you're gonna see. See half of Oppenheimer and half of Barbie, and then you can call it Barbenheimer.
I'll have like a wardrobe change. I'm gonna wear like all pink for Barbie, and I'm gonna wear gray with a fedora for Oppenheimer. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I'll fully immerse myself.
You got to get a whole lot of fake tanner to really rock that vibe.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got 112 slices of cake to go to unlock that first cake story. We can make a run at it before we
We're
dive
almost
in
there.
on the next story here. Labyrinth and Legend.
Breakfast
Bill
Club's
and
good,
Ted. Wear a pink suit, Julie. Nailed it.
Zombieland. That's a good movie.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
They said reverse it. I'll wear all pink for Oppenheimer, and then I'll wear like very monotone colors for Barbie.
Kristen's asking if you've seen Spree.
Spree? I haven't seen Spree.
It's a horror movie.
Should I watch it?
Keanu Reeves, Angie? Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves.
Yep. Hey, look at that. You got there.
Hey, we met the cake goal.
Achieved.
Nice job, guys.
We're gonna let Caden Thunder read the thanks off here, and then we'll dive into that cake story. So, Caden, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look right over here.
Okay.
Don't touch the mouse.
Sorry.
We know better than to let you touch buttons.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So here's your list right over here.
Okay.
You'll have to scroll down. You'll just be reading from there. Okay.
With the mouse.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's read them all.
Yeah. Just thank them all for helping us hit that goal.
Madam Maeve, TLS Journey, Fane 86, Sura 79 Iceland, AK Marie, Tony Spark, Wooly 93, Econ Laura, Brett Borges 309, LMD 10, Jenny Sue 23, Candy Thunder 1, Twinkle Saz, Mama B101, Pam K, Snow XTC, Jack Swalo, Dylan Sprague 8, Haley Rain H2O, Jill's Realm, Classic Anime Queen, Audra Pulsar, Justin Joe's Fad Z. I'm trying. Okay, yeah, I'm trying.
No, you got it. You're good. You're good.
Kristen Museum Girl, Shantane, Dana Y7, The Kirsten Classic, Nakano Kirishima, Sweet Evil 1964, No Dana Only, Zool something, Gina Saucier, The Calm Enthusiast, Heather Moist something. I'm trying, guys.
You got it. You're good.
Legacy Spark, Fly Girl 603, EJ Marie 8, Ashentel 86, Jaslyn Tasia, Simply Peachy, Perfectly Flawed, Maeve Loves, and Art Girl's Eye.
There you go.
I did it.
Hey, nice work.
Everybody run those likes up because I just read a lot of words.
Yep. Nice work. All right, let me set the next one up here real quick. I'll steal the headphones from you.
Thanks,
We'll rock
guys.
and roll. Nice work there, Caden. Let me get the next one set up here right quick. We will get sped up here a little bit. I've got to set the new one up here, and it is moving quickly. Okay. Bear with me for 30 seconds, and we will have this thing rocking and rolling. Okay, got that. The number is... Oh, snap. This one's to unlock Miles. Miles, you better start brushing your beard over there, bro. Okay. We have 300 of the hand waves set up for a Miles appearance here, and in the meantime, I will get that first cake story queued up and rocking and rolling for you here. Let me jump back over to that document. Cake story number 1. Okay. All right. Miranda, nope, we don't do we do the shirt changes on Mondays. I haven't started doing them on Wednesdays yet, mostly because the office is full of people, unlike Mondays when it's empty, and I don't think anybody here wants to see me with my shirt off. Ain't gonna happen. All right. Here is our first cake reward story. This is, am I the astronaut because I brought my friend a cake for his birthday? Bought. No, brought. Yeah. Am I the astronaut because I brought my friend a cake for his birthday? For as long as I, 44 female, have known my friend 48 male, he has had a cookout for his birthday and invited friends over. He always gets the same cake from the same bakery. Last year, that bakery shut down, so I had planned on trying to recreate it for him. I couldn't, so I decided I'd bring him his second favorite kind of cake. I waited to hear about the usual cookout and nothing was ever said, so I texted him and asked. He said he wasn't doing one this year because he's been so busy with work. I thought he might still like a cake, so I made him a German chocolate cake. On his birthday, I waited until evening and went over to his place to drop it off. His girlfriend looked pissed but didn't say anything, and he thanked me but offered me a piece of cake she had. Oh, okay. His girlfriend looked pissed but didn't say anything, and he thanked me but offered me a piece of the cake that she had baked him. Shots fired. Shots fired. It was a close copycat of the bakery's cake. I usually get along all right with his girlfriend, but she didn't look happy the whole time I was there. When I left, she followed me outside and told me while it was a nice gesture, I should have asked one of them before bringing a whole other cake over because it'll probably go to waste, and she could have told me something else to bring. I told her I can bring my friend treats and gifts if I want, and she retorted with, just because you can do something doesn't always mean that you should, and went back inside. Last night, my friend texted me to thank me, but said I overstepped a little bit again by doing something for him that his girlfriend always covers and does, and that I really should start checking with her. I think she had an over-the-top reaction about the cake, but in fact, I think she had an over-the-top reaction about a cake, but the fact that he's agreeing with her, I have to ask if I'm the one being an asshole here. It wasn't about the cake, Angie. Yeah, okay, so the cake was just the cake was the first shot that started this battle, right? It could have been anything. It could have been any item that was something he cared about that she brought over that girlfriend had already covered, and she would have been mad about it. They said they typically got along well, though, which I'm sure is guiling girl code for or frenemies or something like that. The girlfriend has some insecurities that were obviously brought to surface here by the friend bringing this thing. Now, if the friend brought this thing with some kind of romantic agenda, then obviously there's a problem there. If it was as innocent as it has been presented to us by OP here, then OP would have to recognize that the girlfriend is going to get a little offended by that because she also baked a cake. And if they had communicated together, if friend had checked with her, none of this would have happened and it would have been fine. It probably would have strengthened their bond and also shown the girlfriend that she has enough respect to communicate through her rather than just bringing something up that was the same thing that the girlfriend brought. All could have been avoided. It is OP firing back here saying, I'll do what I want. I can bring my friend treats if I want to. That's the moment where this whole thing pivoted for me into something that could have been innocent that is now turned shitty. And let's ignore all the cake stuff leading up to that point. In a vacuum, OP was the asshole in that encounter right there. Girlfriend may have a reason to be concerned. Not necessarily because of OP, but maybe because of her boyfriend or husband or whatever. Boyfriend, yes. Maybe she has a reason to be concerned. I think the respectful thing to do here would have been to communicate through her anyway. It is when OP fires back and says, I'll do whatever the hell I want, basically, that I think she became really the asshole in this thing. Even if it was innocent, at that moment, she could have been like, you know what, you're right. I'm sorry. I can take it back if you want. I should have done that. I will definitely do it next time. And everything would have been fine and we would have never seen this story. But that's not what she did. She planted a flag and said, bitch, I'll do what I want. So in this case here, where would we put OP? Why did they have to involve cake? You know what I mean? Those cakes didn't do nothing wrong to nobody, and now one of them, if not both of them, is going to be wasted. I'm going to open up a home for orphan cakes. Oh my goodness. You all met the miles goal already here. Let me, before we assign an ASCON rating here, let me give some thanks here real quick, and we will set up the next goal. Thank you so much for the hand wave goal to Elise Newman, Rihanna Sings, TLS Journey, Kellyanne, Econ Laura, Ruby Redhead 10, Quackin 1992, Jill's Realm, Fane 86, Perfectly Flawed, S. Martin, Lydia Tramp Music, Candy Thunder, Twinkle Saz, Little S, Piotriel 77, Olivia and Sons, Angel Eye Sarah, Crazy Once More, and Simply Peachy. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Most appreciated. Okay. Oh, we got a new one coming up to you now. We have a new one coming. Okay. Let me find it. Found. Set the number. The number is what? I'm misspelling things. It doesn't help. Okay, we have a goal of 90 confettis to bring out for the very first time ever on the Dusty Thunder stream. Ever. The Thunder Girls. We have Ava Thunder and Kieran Thunder here today. And they, at least as of right now, are both planning on jumping on, and I think doing a little song and a comedy routine for you, right? Oh, you did have a Google Slides presentation about Taylor Swift. Were you wanting to show that during the stream?
Yes, please.
No. She doesn't. She said I don't have it. Otherwise, I bet she'd be game for it.
But she'll be live.
Yeah. Thunder Girls are here, and they're willing to jump on and say hi to everybody. So we are. We're rocking that out. Okay, let's finish assigning our ASCON rating to this story, and then we'll bring Miles on here. So I think going back to the scale here real quick, this is something where OP, in my opinion, at the moment where she fired back, pivoted, and basically showed that it wasn't something innocent, or that she just didn't give a shit about decorum when it comes to a couple, right? The smart thing would have been to communicate through her. And if you really want to have an ongoing friendship with your friend, you at least need to play nice with their significant other. Otherwise, the significant other is going to be more opposed to them spending time with you, period. Thus, your friendship falls apart. So play the long game, at least have the respect to do so. In this case, firing back when she shouldn't have makes her an ASCON 2, in my opinion. She definitely shouldn't have done that. Everything else before that could have been avoided. And if it was an innocent mistake, reacting differently in that instance would have smoothed the whole thing over and would have been a positive outcome, not just neutral, but positive outcome, because it would have strengthened the relationship between them. Instead, she lit it on fire and said, I'll do whatever I want. I'm going to bring cake over every day, all day, cake all day, every day. I'll do what I want. About turned into like a street brawl. So in my humble opinion here, that was the moment where the choice dictated how big of an asshole she was willing to be, and she went up to 2. Could have been worse. Definitely could have been better. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you, maybe for the first time, if you weren't here a few weeks ago. It's been a couple weeks since you've been on, right?
I was on last week.
You were on last week? I don't know where time goes. One day I woke up and my entire beard was white. I don't know what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Griff.
Hola.
Have some headphones,
Okay.
just so you can hear yourself.
Cool. It's cool, but it's also like weird to hear because I'll just start messing up my sentences. How's everybody doing? Days are long, but the years are short. That's true.
Favorite movie, Miles?
Favorite movie? I said earlier Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Just because I'm kind of a comedy guy, but I enjoy plenty of movies. How am I feeling today? Pretty good. I wasn't expecting to be on camera today, but I'm here. Someone agrees with my movie choice.
What's that?
At least somebody agrees with my movie choice.
Monty Python?
Yeah.
I would agree. That's top 5 for sure.
I also really like Napoleon Dynamite, but that's mainly just because I watched that movie over and over again in like middle school.
Go! Get your own tater tots.
Eat the freaking food, Tina.
Do you like supplements?
Tis but to scratch.
Someone like
What are you gonna do?
I actually prefer a couple of other restaurants over Subway, but I worked there, so I'm not under contract anymore. Jersey Mike's is better, but like,
vote for Pedro. My lips hurt real bad.
yep.
Hey, here's a question for Miles. Since Napoleon Dynamite is up there on the list, have you learned the dance?
No.
Damn.
Nah. I can't dance
That
at
would have
all.
been so cool.
My mom disagrees with me because she has some video at her wedding of me dancing that she lives for that video, and she will not ever let me live it down.
You've seen Men in Tights.
I have seen it, but it was quite a while ago. But I remember it being a pretty good tuxedo free at Subway. Yep. Men in Tights, I remember being a pretty good movie. I don't remember all of it. See, Monty Python, I say the Holy Grail. Almost all their movies are like 10 out of 10. But I have to give it that one like the top, at least for their movies, I think. In my opinion.
I get it. We are Men in Tights. We're men. Willow. Oh, Willow's good. Life of Brian.
Life of Brian is good.
Yep.
Spaceballs. I love Spaceballs.
Freaking Being John Malkovich. That's a good one too. Weird. Super weird. You will bring us a shrubbery.
Midsummer I've seen like 3 times. I unfortunately associate it with some bad memories, so I don't like it that much, but it is a good movie.
Young Frankenstein. Oh, hell.
And on that note, here's your headphones back.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Miles Griff, everybody. Hey, we are getting closer and closer on the confetti goal here, which unlocks the Thunder Girls for the very first time ever. So, heck yeah, that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm going to dive into the next story, but I bet you we can get there in between there. Meanwhile, we are at 47% on our likes goal for the day, and just a little over 50% of the way through this show. So we will need to pick up our pace a little bit if we're going to get there in time. Thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing with the likes. I saw Candy Thunder over there tapping her little heart out on her screen over there, trying to get them likes rolling. So all of you who are doing that out there, thank you so much. It does help with exposure for us. So thank you. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. I will jump back up here. Am I on? Yeah, okay. I know where I'm at. I have missed so many things for thanks here, so apologies for running so far behind here. Becky subscribed and became a member of the Storm for month 1. Thank you so much for joining the fam. Glad to have you here. TLS Jarby, Miranda, Jennifer, Roberta, Crazy Once More. I see you out there. Thank you so much, Lorgoff, you as well. Thank you. I think there was another member of the Storm up here that I'm trying to not miss. Nicole D. Stout subscribed and became a member of the Storm for the very first time too. Fane, Lorgoff, Olivia, thank you guys so much. Izzy Bear, see you there. Quack in 1992, Rhiannon Sings, Simply Peachy, Julia, thank you guys so much, greatly appreciate it. Samantha Hibbs subscribed and became a member of the Storm for the very first time too, so thank you so much. Sorry I missed you earlier. Glad to have you as a member of the family. Okay, let's dive in. This is our second official follower submission for today's stream, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Telling Husband I Had Cancer? That's not heavy at all. My goodness. And as a reminder, we did message OPs ahead of time to let them know that their story would be covered today. OP, if you happen to be in the house and want to claim your story, it's entirely up to you. Miles is continuing the favorite movie discussion here. There's so many good ones. Monty Python and the Holy Grail was and is probably like top 3, top 5 for life. Just has to be. Right before and during COVID, starting mid-2019 but continuing, things were quite stressful for my husband. His father was showing signs of dementia and later was diagnosed accordingly, and hubby became responsible primarily for his care. So not just seeing his dad go through this and caring for him, but of course facing his own mortality and seeing his own potential future. We had my husband retire from his job so that he could provide nearly full-time care for his dad at his dad's home, which was fortunately close by. Additionally, in 2020, while this was still going on and the dementia was getting worse, his son, my stepson, was making some really bad decisions and actually almost died in a car crash, high and drunk. Bottom line, it was serious, high stress. In 2020, just a week after the car crash, I had a basic surgical procedure, and while the doctors were in there, they discovered unrelated cancer. In fact, while I was under, they pulled in another surgeon and got rid of everything they could in the moment. The procedure itself obviously took longer than planned, and I decided to not stress my husband out even more with what the doctor told me when I came to. Hubby wasn't allowed back there in recovery, COVID protocols. And so I just told him that they had found extra scar tissue and such, and that's why the procedure took longer. Afterward, I had to undergo some radiation and such. I was able to get those treatments and keep it away from my husband because he was always at his dad's taking care of him since I worked from home. My hubby didn't often call me during the day, and he would not be aware that I wasn't home and was actually off getting treatment. I'm a salaried professional, and I was able to flex the time with no problems. My prognosis is good at this point, and I still have never told my husband. It's been almost 3 years. His father has since passed away, and his son has his act together now. I would have told him if things had turned south, but so far so good, and I honestly made the decision in that moment because I just couldn't burden him with one more thing to worry about. But am I the asshole for doing so? Oof. Oh, yeah, sweet cheese and this one is hard. It is lying. It is withholding information, which is different than lying, right? I mean, it's still a lie, but it wasn't malicious, and I think that's what we have to pay attention to here is why. Why was it done? And it wasn't done because she was trying to be malicious. She wasn't trying to necessarily hide something from him. The only thing that she was trying to hide from him was stress. And I get that. I get that. And I can't say that in a similar position, I wouldn't do the same thing. And maybe it is the asshole thing to do in the long run. But until there's a reason to add the stress, I think you have to ask yourself if adding the stress is the right thing to do. With so much other stuff going on, I'm sure Candy Thunder would, kick me in the crotch for thinking like that or saying that. But I honestly think that she would act the same way too. I think knowing what each other go through, if it was a high stress situation like it was, where she listed all of these things that were just going like, not just a little bit bad, but like lose your mind bad. All of these things are max stress levels. You can't help but, as a spouse or as a family member or someone who cares about someone, you can't help but worry about the things that you can't control when it comes to your loved one's health or mortality. You can't. So she knew that when she was passing that information along, if she had told him, it would cause additional stress no matter what. Of course, he can't do anything about it, and him stressing about it and worrying about it isn't going to help. It's not going to do anything, but that was the only thing that she could tell him. She would have known if things were going further south. She would have known if this was going to be bad, and she did it to protect him. And if it had gone further south, she would have told him. So people are going to disagree with me here because that's something that you should be completely transparent with your spouse about, but there was no malice behind this at all. It was done from a very innocent, wholesome place. And it wasn't because it was for her benefit. It was for someone else's benefit. And she had already planned to come clean if she needed to, but knew she had enough time to not have to do that yet. So I am at an NTA. That's where I'm at for you here, OP. Because there's nothing malicious about it at all. Nothing. And it wasn't for her selfish benefit. It was for her husband's. I believe that based on what I've read here and how even just the tone in this makes me believe that further. Okay, so Gamma Gutierrez says, I agree with you, but should at this point tell him. Okay, agreed. Because, I mean, what is going on with his father has since passed away and his son has his act together now. Okay, I agree. Not the asshole for not telling him up to this point. Now you got to say something. maybe like after next scan, when you get a really good idea of what you're looking at now, maybe when you have your next appointment that kind of dictates how treatment has been going, your next check-in, so to speak. I think after that point, when you have some clear news to be able to deliver, then you're under a different set of moral obligation. So yes, not the asshole for not doing it yet, but you need to do it now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have some thanks to give here. You all chose to meet the Thunder Gals. Like the Jazzy Gals, but the Thunder Gals. Let me thank these folks real quick, and then we'll bring these Thunder Girls up. They're ready. They're like SpongeBob over here on the side. I'm ready. TLS Journey, Econ Laura, Crazy Once More, Fly on the Wall, Pam K, Madame Maeve, Justina Josfadzi, Flower Girl, Mama B101, Dylan Sprigg, Dawn Banks, Tony Spark, Candy Thunder, Elise Newman, Jarby, Not That Ellen Twinkle Saz, Hazel Love, Ruby Redhead, Mabel Loves Again, Roberta Snyder. Man, that was hard. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Roberta Snyder, Lydia Trent Music, Becky Morby, Jenny Sue, Crazy Toast, Tawny M, Passionate Reader, and the Cursing Classic. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. Let me set the next goal up real quick before I bring them on. Right quick here, we have... Would you look at that? It already had it pre-selected for me. It's like it was reading my mind. It's crazy. Okay, we're just doing 40 of those. And this is for Tony's. Oh, caps lock is on. Darn it. Tony's fave cake story. All right, we have 40, just 40 of the whole birthday cakes to unlock Tony's favorite cake story. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I bring you Ava Thunder and Kieran Thunder. Yay! Oh my God, it's Ava Thunder and Kieran Thunder. Come on. Over here. Over here. Over here. Here, stand on the black mat, both of you. Stand on the black mat there. There you go. You stand right there. Okay. Step up just a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay. So we have Ava Thunder here and Kieran Thunder here, and you have to kind of turn your bodies in. No, you're playing this battle that is like shoving Kieran out of frame here. There you go. You're good right there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what questions do you have for the Thunder Girls here? It's your first time on. What do you think of all of this so far?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if you could read Ava Thunder's lips right then, but I could. And how dare you say that word?
What did I say?
I saw it.
What did I do?
I'm gonna clip that out and play it back in slow-mo for everybody.
The Dr. Pepper one from Quick
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Well, it's not Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I don't. Oh, well, I don't know.
Dr. Pepper.
I can't read the chat.
Hey, diversion, just so you know, it wasn't me. I didn't pop the confetti. Also, they're well aware that confetti happens here, so it wasn't a complete shock. Monty says her reaction was like she grew up in the hood. Oh man. Okay, Vita Trimble asks what you guys like to do for fun. Ava, what do you like to do for fun?
I don't know.
Ninth grade.
Both in ninth grade.
Freshman. So
And again, we're a blended family, so they're a few months apart.
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
I'm sorry, I meant weeks. But yeah.
What's your favorite cake?
Chocolate.
Vanilla with the sprinkle frosting that Grandma
Okay,
makes.
Both half step to your left. There you go. There you go. Now you're good. Favorite Taylor Swift song? Ava.
Oh, Lord.
What?
Favorite Taylor Swift song?
How am I supposed to pick?
Top 3.
Still.
Favorite right now.
You go first.
All is well, 10-minute version.
All is well.
All too well. I'm nervous. I'm scared.
If this was a movie, Right Where You Left Me, and
You Are in Love.
How dare you make her pick? That's insanity.
It is.
How is what's been your favorite thing about summer so far? Well, I know the answer to this. Never mind.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift concert?
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell them a little bit about your time at the Taylor Swift concert.
It was great. It was
fine.
it was fine. Best night of my life.
It was fine.
There was no surprise confetti cannons in my face.
No.
Ava even has Candy's mannerisms. It's Kimberly says, yeah. Oh man.
They like your Clueless t-shirt.
Oh.
No,
No.
we hate each other.
No, we're not friends.
We're enemies.
We're not friends.
Best sister memory so far. Taylor Swift again.
No. No, another one. No. Whenever we were like littler, we shared a bedroom, and Kay got so mad at me because my side of the bedroom was so messy. So she got all the expo markers and she made a line across our bedroom, and I decided to make a statement, and I put like my blanket like right over the thing, and it drove her crazy. And I did it every day with something different. Like I would put my LOL doll on her side, or I would play with her LOL doll on my side. Made her really upset.
So nothing's changed.
No.
Or we would make we would pretend to be Taylor Swift, and we would make music videos because
we'd make dances.
Yeah, because we were Taylor Swift.
And we'd perform them.
Yep, we would perform them for.
And it was great. You guys did great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We would rehearse it.
We would make Brady be a background dancer.
Sports you're involved in.
Cheer.
Cheer and track.
I can't run, so.
Yeah. And you guys have both been doing cheer for how long?
Since 4th grade.
And you were since 3rd, right?
3rd grade.
3rd, yeah. Where's this PowerPoint, Brooke says? It's Google Slides, not PowerPoint.
It's Google Slides.
Yeah, it's on
my
Google Slides.
It's on my Chromebook at home.
Dusty's most embarrassing moment. Oh no.
A lot.
He used to dress up in a gorilla costume every Halloween and scare the bejeebies out of me.
Farting.
And it worked. It worked.
Did you tell the story from the other night?
Uh,
You farted.
Nope. I haven't. All right, that's the Thunder Girl, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for being on. Okay. Oh man. I mean, it's a come what may kind of situation whenever you bring your teens on, right? So there's that. Their first time getting up here on the stream ever. So big round of applause for you girls. You did fantastic. The confetti cannon was probably the icebreaker that just immediately put them at ease, right? I mean, it does make you shake off any dust immediately. But I promise, I read Ava's mouth and the word didn't come out. She didn't vocalize it, but there was a definite F at the beginning of that. Frick. That's the teen thing. Frick. Oh, no, we'll save that story for another time. Thank you so much for that, Ava. Tons of requests coming up right now. I'm not even sure which one she's talking about. Well, yeah, you said that already. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, not today. Not today. Not. You guys have heard my Casey's bathroom story. You know I have no shame, but this one will have to wait for like a VIP live or something. Maybe we'll save it for them. We are at 10 of 40 of the whole cakes right now for the next cake story, and this is Tony's favorite cake story, whatever that means. So, is it just extra spicy? Is it extra chocolatey? What's going on with that story, Tony? Tony Spock, why is that story so special? Your cake story.
Funny. It's actually a petty revenge.
Oh, it's a petty revenge cake story.
It's really well written. It's very funny.
Okay, they said it's really well written, it's really funny, and it's a petty revenge story. So yes. We're at 15 of 40 of those right now. So I will bebop over to the next story here. We already did that one. That was the reward one that we covered first. So we have another follower submission here. Title of this one is Am I the Astronaut for Outing My Dead Mother's Husband? OP, if you happen to be in chat and want to claim this, go for it. I'm going to get I drink water real quick. Has ranch. Oh. Cake chock full of colon blow. Oh, Sergeant Mac, that's terrible. That's terrible. Everybody gets a free rope from that birthday party. Okay. That was probably too far. Okay, again, title of this follower submitted story is Am I the Astronaut for Outing My Dead Mother's Husband? My mom passed away on Easter very unexpectedly. We were all at Easter dinner when my mom tells me that she isn't feeling well and asked me to check her blood pressure. I have a medical background. Her blood pressure was outrageous, so I told her she was going to be mad and called our local squad. Fast forward to the hospital, her husband, my husband, and I were in the room waiting to hear what was going on. I say husband like that because husband's in quotation. So fast forward to the hospital, her husband, my husband, and I were in the room waiting to hear what was going on. The doctor comes in and tells us that she didn't make it. Her husband immediately leaves the hospital. Not just the room, the whole hospital. I ask follow-up questions and then proceed to call him to find out if he will not be returning. He tells me, "It's not my place. You will have to handle it." Mind you, I am her only child with 3 grandchildren and 1 on the way due in October, so I do just that and handle everything, every single decision. I made it with the support of my husband and my family. He did the bare minimum and acted shady for the entire following week, in my mind at least. Fast forward to 1 week from the day my mother died, and I get a phone call to do some checking into the woman who has been at my mother's house every day since the night she died. For reference, my grandmother 100% financed said house for my mother. It turns out he had already moved a woman into my mom's house, but because of the 3 of them, mother, grandmother, and him, were on the deed, there was nothing we could do. 2 months later, while we paid all the bills for the house he and his mistress were living in, we had to buy him out of the property. Now, granted, we did this for the least amount possible. However, my mother's life insurance and 401k, etc. were all left to him. We're now fighting, trying to get him to pay at least the funeral bill out of the life insurance. He and the new woman moved out and took everything of my mother's with the exception of the specific heirlooms I requested and her clothes/shoes and Christmas decorations. While I'm thankful that I have the important things to me, I can't help but be bitter. The man whom my mom barely knew for 5 years disinherited me and my children and the remainder of my family. I sat on it for months and kept my mouth shut. I sat on it for months and kept my mouth shut. I'm super surprised Peanut Gallery over there didn't roast me for that flub, but it's because they weren't listening. So snuck that one by. They'll see it after the fact.
Sorry.
Yeah, you at the back of the class. I sat on it for months and kept my mouth shut, but not to out him over his secret. Okay, that line again, because it's tripped me up twice now already. I sat on it for months and kept my mouth shut, not to out him over his secret. I had recently started having nightmares regarding my mom's death and the situation until...
A million likes.
Wow.
We got 500,000 to go.
Dude, you guys hit 1 million likes. Look at that. You crossed the threshold into the 1 million likes territory here. Nice work. We're still going. But 1 million? My goodness. Y'all are awesome. I had recently started having nightmares regarding my mom's death and the situation until finally I put it all out there. I kept my post factual and to the point, trying to leave my thoughts and anger out and only stating things I could prove in court should I have to. Almost forgot to mention 2 days after she died, he called and cussed me because I still had her cell phone, even though I'd given him her wedding rings, which she paid for, and her wallet, which he is not on her checking account. So I had literally given him every aspect of her I had except the phone. He was extremely mean and hateful on the phone, and after about 15 minutes tells me he was sorry he hadn't taken his medication. All of this has weighed so heavily on me, and it isn't even about the money. For me, it's the fact that you could out your only child and grandchildren, and the fact that he can live with himself for doing the same when we've proven he was cheating on my mom even before her death, and was with the mistress the morning of my mom's death, which I assume could have contributed to her death from all of the stress and anxiety of what he was doing behind her back. But yet still, after all the hell this man has put my family through, I can't help but feel a little guilty for posting. Am I the asshole? Okay, so the situation here was OP had not just suspicions, but knew that this was going on ahead of time. Felt like she had to talk it out, and did a post. But where did the post happen? OP, are you in chat? This is a follower submission. OP, are you here? I have questions. Angie, that's the big question I have here. And I'm wondering if the post, because we don't get a whole lot of info about where this post happened, unless I just missed it, unless I read it and just didn't hear it. Where did the post happen and what kind of allegations were made in there? But it doesn't sound like it triggered a whole lot of things here. Trying to skip down to make sure I know where this was going. So if OP were here, OP is in chat? Hey, perfect. Okay, OP. Where was the post made? And were there allegations made in that post, or was it just like an outline of the items as you understood it? Oh, the post is on Facebook. Okay, Danielle, thank you. So it was a Facebook post. Okay, so did he see this and react to it? Is that what happened? I kept my post factual and to the point, trying to leave my thoughts and anger out, only stating the things that I should prove in court if I have to. Okay, so the second part of that is in personal Facebook, no allegations, only facts. I have no idea if he's seen it or not. You haven't blocked. Okay, so he didn't have any kind of reaction from that the post triggered. Okay. Was the post not just not allegations, but was the post alluding to the fact or investigating the fact that he had something to do with her death, not just from a stress point, but that there was some kind of nefarious wrongdoing involved as well? I mean, I would assume that if there were some kind of poisoning or some kind of something that they did to cause this to speed along, that it would have been something that they found, but do not know that. No, we didn't conversate. Also, haven't confronted him. Okay. You know what? If it's your private Facebook, right? So the people that you've chosen to share it with, you made the decision to have this discussion with, basically, kind of like we do here, right? If somebody puts an AITA post, or like you've done here in this post here, it's the I'm having a discussion about these things that are weighing on my mind that I need to talk about with some people, and this is the group that you've chose to do that with. I don't think you're an asshole at all for doing that. I think you're feeling bad for it enough to wonder if you are the asshole is what concerns me here, because this person, in a vacuum, saying or understand, if my understanding of the situation is everything that you've given to us on face value here, you've got someone who's got no problem mistreating you in every single way. You feeling bad for starting this conversation post where you're wondering about these things and about these things that are bugging you. You're feeling an asshole just for doing that. Number one, I think shows us that you're an empathetic human being, right? Where he's got to be some kind of a robotic asshole. You have feelings. You're able to feel remorse, to wonder if you're the asshole, and just wondering is enough in this case to kind of show us that you're not. But he is. So balance of scales here. I wouldn't feel bad, and you got a long way to go before you can start feeling bad. But that's against your own benchmark, not what he's done. If you're not playing the tit for tat game, and luckily it doesn't sound like you are, where is your own personal comfort benchmark of how far you're willing to take this? It's your mom. I mean, it's not like you have an applicable experience to put this up against. You're allowed to feel things. You're allowed to discuss how you feel, and you're not making any allegations or anything. So I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. NTA. And also, yeah, okay, so Danielle says, we have wondered about her death. Did not do an autopsy as we didn't know he was cheating until after her death. Okay, so after everything was finalized and it was too late to do an autopsy, I assume. That's whenever you found out. Okay. So, Christina, no, not OP's dad. This was OP's mom's quote husband because they hadn't known sorry microphone, because they hadn't known each other very long. It was what, 5 years? Yeah, NTA, 100% NTA here, OP. And I think not just comparing yourself to the evil that you're facing, which I think there has to be a true evil element to it. And in here, we'll go ahead and assign him the official Ask on 1 to show you where you are on the extreme opposite end of the spectrum with him here. You are so far from being the evil that he is, and he's not concerned about how big of an asshole he's being at all, and he's not asking anybody if they think he's being the asshole because he's accepted it. This is 100% understandable, and I don't think anybody's going to fault you for that. I don't think anybody will fault you for that at all. NTA. And that's a hellish thing to have to go through, and I'm sorry that you went through it. Oh, all right. Candy Thunder has alerted me that we have met our cake goal here. Danielle is OP and is in chat. So I think, anybody who has follow-up questions about that, Danielle, if you're willing to hang along. She says, my family doesn't want to exhume her because they feel proving he did something to her would also be too hard. I agree. I mean, there really would be a big part of me that always would want to know, but I understand. I understand where you're at. But for what you're doing now, feeling and discussing things with people, NTA. Like NTA. Meanwhile, you got an Ask on 1 to deal with. Let me give some thanks here real quick. We still have our QOD up here. TLS Journey, Sherry Wilson, Elise Newman, Beth Ann, Pam K, Fluffy Buddy. I see it over there. Candy Thunder, Mava Loves, LMD10, Jill's Realm, Dylan Sprague, Young at Heart, Leo Named Water, Little Princess. We've got Flower Girl, Tony Spark, and Mama Silver. Thank you guys so much for contributing to that. Now we get to read Tony's favorite cake story. It's Tony's favorite cake story, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, let me get the next one set up here real quick. There's all what? Okay. Too far. I've gone too far. Found it. And 85, okay? Swimming in a sea of confetti over here. 85, okay. Oh, he's throwing me back in the Ascon helmet now. No, we've got 99 caps set up there. Oh, thank you so much. Tony Spark looking out for me here. Cat Renner, lead him, subscribe for month 4. Hanging with the fam still. Sherry Wilson, thank you so much. Tiffany, Lisa Eldridge, JJ, Lisa again, thank you so much. Pam K, Beth Ann, Emily, Anna, TLS, Beth Ann subscribed for month 2. Awesome. Glad to have you in the fam still. Ashley Grimes, Kim Young, Sherry Wilson, C. Larson, thank you so much for contributing there. We greatly appreciate that. Oh, those were sweet shades right there. Joe Marie, Sergeant Mac, appreciate it, man. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, we are running at the hats now to bring the extremely realistic astronaut helmet from behind me out into play for a story reading. And in the meantime, we will get the cake story rocking and rolling here. This is number 2, correct?
Correct.
Tony Spark is really excited for this one.
I love it.
I could tell. He's like, oh yeah, I'm ready.
I feel like I've hyped it up too much.
What if you hyped it up this much and I do a terrible job reading it?
Like, you're an idiot. The story is all good. I'll be like, well,
I'm not going to throw the game here, but it would be funny.
they're going to lose all their faith in me selecting the story.
Okay, this is a reward cake story. This is also from Petty Revenge. So this one is Don't Touch My Cake. That's the title. Legit. Baked goods. Everyone loves baked goods. My sister, she probably loves them more than anyone. So on the day she was down and depressed after breaking up with her boyfriend, my mother and I swore to bring her cheer with a delicious chocolate cake. We venture out the front door and hop into this Yep. We venture out the front door and hop into his Jeep and set down the road to the local grocer. We arrive, and as we are looking to park, this woman, who we will call Karen, cuts us off and steals the parking spot we were waiting for. We shrugged it off as we're pretty relaxed fellows and parked in another spot. We make our way into the grocery store, head directly to the baked goods counter, and wait in line to be served. The Karen pulls up behind us, chattering away obnoxiously on her cell phone and completely oblivious to what was around her. Our turn to be served comes up. We select the last remaining chocolate cake and ask the baker to put a message on our cake. She said it would take about 10 minutes as there was a line, and we told her we would be back to pick up our order. As we're walking away, Karen asked for a chocolate cake and is told there is none left and that we got the last one. Come on, counter worker gal. Why do you have to add the end part? Why do you have to say, oh, I'm sorry, we're sold out? They got the last one. I'm guessing all of this drama could have been avoided, sans that line. She begins freaking out in a very entitled tone and demands that she receive said cake since we cut her off in the bakery line. Oh, so now we're just making things up. Cool. However, the baker assures her we were there first and she would have to wait and she would have to pick out a different cake. At this point, we could no longer hear what was happening, but we didn't care as the Karen stole our parking spot and got her just desserts. Hey, that was funny. That was good. She got her just desserts, or didn't. And we took the last chocolate cake. However, our dealings with the Karen were far from over. We headed to the frozen aisle to grab some pizza pockets, fries, chicken fingers, and other delectable snack foods as we were pretty starved. We headed back to the bakery counter only to find a different person behind the counter. We ask her for our cake and are told our sister picked it up. No, Karen impersonated their sister? Holy shit, this gal. Too far, Karen, too far. Oh my goodness. She then points down the bread aisle to the Karen with our cake in her MFing cart. Now, most people would walk away and let this bee eat her cake, but we were not backing down. We followed her for some time through the grocery store. We decided to wait for an opportune moment and steal our cake back. The second she turned to grab something from the dairy fridge, we galloped over, grabbed the cake, and ran headlong to the checkout. Looking back, we saw she was distracted on her phone again and did not notice that the cake was missing. We paid for our groceries and headed out to the truck. As we were leaving, we realized that maybe we could get a little extra revenge on her. So we wrote up a note indicating how delicious the cake was and that she should thank us for saving her the calories. We tucked this under the wiper of her car and just drove off as she was walking out. Her face was red and puffed with air. We could tell she was angry as all hell that we got our cake back. Yes. All of this. Every single bit of this, even the little note afterwards. Yes, all of it. All of it. Feels like a Malcolm in the Middle. Agreed. That's yeah. Like you couldn't script that any better. 1.2 milli. One an effing only dread zone there. We bypassed 1.2. We're gonna hit that 1.5. Tell you what, we got 17 minutes. We're gonna get there. And we're at 28 of 85 of the ball caps right now to whip out this fantabulous one and only certified authentic astronaut helmet. I think this thing's been to Saturn. What you mean we ain't never been to Saturn before? Oh, well, maybe it was Pluto it went to. But that's not technically a planet anymore, or is it a planet again now? I don't know. Oh, they do want it back? It's on loan. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, speaking of that one. Just want to remind you that Shark Week is coming up. You'll have this to look forward to. Yeah. You got to look out for those Jersey sharks, man. It's those Coney Island sharks, you know what I mean? The sharks. Sharks. Jersey sharks. How did the cake story end? Oh, it messed up on you, Amanda. They got revenge. They were able to steal the cake back in the store and even left her a little "I love you" note about how delicious the cake was under her wiper since she had stolen their parking spot. So that worked out really, really well. You have to buy the shark face, Walter Nitty. Oh man, Lil P, thank you so much. Appreciate it. No one in Jersey talks like that. So when my shark voice first came out, it was not intended to be Jersey or anything. It just kind of came out. Navy Thunder is all into the Baby Shark stuff right now, like to the annoying level. And I know everybody has gotten annoyed with the Baby Shark stuff in their life at some point. We're there right now. But she says Daddy Shark's so cute that it's kind of hard to be, hard to be pissed. Do we get AITA shark stories? I don't know if those exist. I mean, most asshole sharks pretty well stick to themselves, or they don't leave anybody to talk about it, right? Howard's mom from Big Bang Theory. Oh, man, there you go. Crystal, there you go. Hey, we got you caught up. We got you caught up there. Okay. Our next one here, bouncing all the way back here, is I think I know where I'm at. Oh boy. We got a wedding story coming up here. We have a follower submission to read. This follower submitted story is, am I the astronaut for not inviting my dad to my vow renewal because he didn't go to my wedding? Again, follower submission, OP, if you're in chat and want to claim your story, you have every ability to there. Completely up to you. You only like the military march version of Baby Shark. You know, on the like the Baby Shark Amazon Fire tablet app that's for kids, there's like 12 different versions of the Baby Shark song, and they have music videos that go with them. So, I mean, you could literally sit there and watch like 3 hours worth of that song just in different ways. It's maddening. I don't know why they've done this. I mean, I get it, but oh my gosh. Okay, again, this was, am I the astronaut for not inviting my dad to my vow renewal because he didn't go to my wedding? I, 36 male, married my wife, 36 female, 3 years ago in the middle of the pandemic and before any vaccines were available. We had a small ceremony in a small park in the middle of a city 4 hours away from where my dad and stepmother live. We had planned on live streaming the ceremony on Facebook for everyone that we knew who wouldn't or couldn't make it due to travel restrictions, and simply wanted our parents to be there to see us get married in person. My wife's mom and stepdad live only an hour from where we got married, so that was easy to manage. My dad and stepmom, on the other hand, were my only chance to have any family there with me since my mom and stepdad live in Europe. I sent my dad and stepmom the official invitation 6 months before the ceremony, and he said yes. Fast forward to 3 weeks before the wedding, I'm in the middle of packing up my things to change duty stations, #Navy life, and my wedding is going to happen at the tail end of this move. My dad called me to let me know that after a lot of deliberation, he made the decision to not attend the wedding after all because of his concerns with COVID-19. I remember feeling numb from that news and initially said that I understood and thanked him for letting me know. After the phone call, I finally felt again and got angrier and angrier the more I thought about it. It was a reasonable drive to an open-air venue where masking is encouraged and everyone but the bride and groom would be 6 feet apart. We were taking every precaution to make this happen, and yet he was still too scared to go. I know in my heart that if I were in his shoes, nothing would stop me from watching my son get married. I was effectively alone on my wedding day, but didn't let that stop me from enjoying the day. To this day, I haven't forgiven nor forgotten this, and to make matters worse, my wife and I have gone no contact with my stepmother to put it simply, saying mean things and refusing to take accountability for what she said. Sounds like a whole other story right there. Fast forward again to present day. My wife and I have recently joined a new church, and we already feel right at home. And we're talking with the head pastor to have a vow renewal at the church next summer before I head to my next duty station. We plan on inviting plenty more family members now that all travel restrictions have been lifted, and I'm currently stuck on whether my dad and his wife should get an invitation. They took what I see as a cowardly way out of the first time, and my vindictive side wants to invite everyone but them to send a message. My wife supports this move, and yet I feel a little hung up on this. How far out of line am I, Dusty? Am I the astronaut if I don't invite my dad to my vow renewal as revenge for him not coming to my wedding? Okay, so you guys haven't seen this content come out yet, but I think it's a good time to have this talk. Let's have this talk. I think in situations like this, we have talked about where there's kind of a spectrum of acceptable responses, and at the bottom of this, you have like what you are what is allowed basically based on the amount of action that they took, right? What do you, I don't know what the word I'm looking for there, but you know what I mean. And then at the top, you have like being the bigger person and forgiving and forgetting and all that crap. So you've got this in between there. That's where you can act and not be the asshole, right? So you can do this and not be the asshole for it. It's justified. There we go. I think that might be the word I was looking for, where you are justified taking action based on the action that they took. But then I think the bigger question here is a theme that we talk about a lot in the podcast with Josh Smoots, and that is the statement that I've used for a while internally, kind of, that says, do what you want. And that doesn't mean just do whatever the hell you want. That means your actions should align with your goals in life. And in this case, your actions should align with the relationship that you want to have with your dad and your stepmom, or with just your dad or whatever. I think it's less about what's acceptable based on context of their actions. And I think this becomes more of a what's acceptable to you based on where you want this to go from here. Do you want to have a long relationship, a close relationship, so that someday when you have kids, if you have kids, do you picture that bond between your dad and your kids being strong? Do you picture them having them close? And if so, then do what you want, meaning the action you should take now should put you a step closer to having that in the future. You are taking a step toward creating that future vision that you want. Now, if you could give a shit less and you don't see that happening because it's just not that kind of person, and you haven't been that close, and whatever else come what may in there, then do what you want there too. And you have the right to say, no, I'm not going to invite them here because I don't need to take a step in that direction. You see where I'm going with this. I think it's less about where you're just a justified asshole for not inviting them here, and more about like, where does this take you in life? And where do you want it to go? So Shadow Sin Knight says something interesting here, and I think a lot of people probably feel this way. COVID was so unknown. I think you should show more grace. That was their statement here. And a lot of people had a lot of, call it rational, call it irrational fear that was heightened during that time, and they were too scared to do anything or go anywhere. I know my grandma was one of them. And some of that fear still exists there, with not being willing to get out and travel as much or go to as many event kind of things. So there is like a little asterisk toward your dad's actions because everybody was losing their minds and nobody knew what was going on and nobody knew it was safe. And although every precaution was being taken there, if they had a reason to be concerned, if they were immunocompromised or they had some other reason, then they have a little bit more weight thrown behind them. So it is complicated. All of that to say, you wouldn't be an asshole, but it might not be the direction you want this to go. And I think that's the more important question. That was a lot of words to say those few. Do what you want. Where do you want it to go? That's my question for it. We're at 57 of 85 of those ball caps right now. We're at 466. Well, those words just ran together. 466 of 500 on our members of the VIP storm right now. We're at 92% of the goal of 1.5 million likes. You guys are going to get there. We got 7 minutes to go. I know y'all still tapping. You may not have any fingerprints left. Your finger may have said no more about 10 minutes ago, but I know you're still going because you're a champion. That's right. I believe in you. And I should probably get our agency iPhone out here so I can be tapping while I'm talking, Tony. That may get distracting if I'm standing here tapping while streaming, liking the stream that I'm on. That would be a little weird. Caden Thunder hyping us up. We got this. Keep on tapping. Here to pump you up. Heidi, you like the do what you want theme? I think it takes some explaining, but it makes so much sense to me. And it's, where do you want to go? And is this action, when you have enough foresight to be able to make a decision and say, what should I choose here? I think the one check in there is, where do you want it to go? Like, where does this spin you? What direction does it make you head in? Johnny, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Creepy Spy says COVID was unaliving people in mass numbers. If he's older, he was at higher risk. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't know, the information even on that was limited at that time too. So it's tough. It is very, very tough. Sprinkles are for winners, Nurse teacher says. Oh, man. Okay. We got 5 minutes left here. We are getting close on our cap goal. I can go ahead and jump into the next story here. We got this. We are, again, we have this coming up. We have Wheel of Thunder coming up with the top 10 gifters and 4 members of the Storm, 2 new, 2 existing. We'll go on there. We will spin that during the VIP live, which is going to happen today. We'll I don't know how many members of the family are going to be here. We got like 10 people that can jump on almost all at one time. So we'll see how that goes. We will be having the VIP live after the public live ends today. Tony Spark has some confetti cannons going on here because we hit the 1.5 milli. Heck yeah, look at you guys go. We'll get some confetti going here too. 1.5 milli likes. Okay. I know it's tempting at this point for us to be like, push, we can get to 2 milli. We can do this. Let your fingertips rest. Let your finger joints rest. You done it. You got there. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Angie agreed. Star Trek is a great set of movies too. Dang. Laura, thank you so much for pushing through with those hats. We greatly appreciate that. Mom was with the NHS during COVID, and we were scared that she would get it. Man, it is, yeah. You guys did great. 1.5 milli likes. Love it. Oh, we're past it. For a second, it said 1.4 something on what I was looking at too, but then it jumped over. Oh, Jody's Dirty Dancing. That's a damn good one. Tony Smith subscribed for the first time, became a member of the Storm. Welcome to the fam. You guys are awesome. Yeah, we're going to hit that hat thing here in a second. Y'all are going to make me wear the authentic astronaut helmet before we end the stream today, aren't you? You're going to make me do it. Yeah, 700th Street going, Peppermint Witch. That's a lot. Man, that is a whole stinking lot. Yeah, we're there. I'll just keep this going for a second while I thank our hat gifters because we're going to get there any second here too. Footloose, Gone with the Wind, Boondock Saints. There you go. Hey, that's poor Daryl Dixon. Was Daryl Dixon right there. Tell you what. Live goal achieved. You guys. Gemma, your thumbs are dead. You can rest them now. You can rest. You guys earned this brick. Go ice your thumbs while we get ready for next week, right? Sherry Wilson, TLS Journey, Ashen Rose, Econ Laura, Pam K, Miles Griff, Dylan Sprigg, Heather Reagan, Bethlehem, can't see the rest of it, Amber Reed, Twinkle Saz, Jackie D, Young at Heart, Anna Cap, Not That Ellen, Hazel Love, Mava Loves, we got Lulu's Mama, Mama B101, Becky Morby, Fly Girl 603, Flower Girl, Tony Spark, Candy Thunder, Mia Meow, Meow, Kellyanne, and Tammy Fiddlesticks. Thank you guys so much for that. I know we only have a couple of minutes left here, but I'm still going to do it anyway. We're going to go ahead and rock to this one right here. I'll tell you what, we'll just flip over to this. We only got a couple minutes. Calling the Audible. Calling my own Audible now, Tony Spark. What do you think about that? If we happen to get there quickly. And I set 3K lightning bolts to get Candy Thunder out here. If you guys can pull this off in a couple of minutes, we can get her out here. Got my hat and mustache going on there, tell you what. Oh man, I have to put the helmet on. I was like, yeah, cool. We got everything done. Nope. Boop. The smell of greatness coming up here. Got stuck on my nose. Emily Duncan subscribed and became a member of the Storm for the first time. Thank you so much for joining the fam. Glad to have you here. We got this. We're going to dive in and do this story right here while I got this authentic helmet on. Hi, Thunder Girls. You never seen me look so good and fatherly. You never been more proud of me as a dad, have you? Hey, not all kids can say that their dads are astronauts, okay? Or astronauts. And most of them can say that, actually. Probably. And they can too. Not gonna lie. Okay, we're gonna dive into another follower submitted story here. OP, if you are in chat and want to claim it, that is completely your choice. This one is, am I the astronaut for wanting time away from my brother-in-law? Am I wanting time away from my brother-in-law? Small backstory, myself, 33 female, and husband, 31 male, have been married for 2 years, after meeting 10 years ago in 2013. In our time together since then, we've split responsibilities between the two of us. If one of us cooked a meal, the other did the dishes. It worked well, and we've never really had any issues when it came to our handling of our adult responsibilities. My father-in-law, 63, owns the duplex that my husband and brother-in-law, 35, grew up in. Their egg donor left them when my husband was 6 years old and has been no contact since. Wow. My husband and brother-in-law are not close with their stepmother, 60, or her two sons, 32 and 30. My brother-in-law and one of the sons was still living with his father-in-law. The gentleman that was renting the other side of the... Starting over. The gentleman that was renting... Starting over again. Sorry. The gentleman that was renting the other side of my father-in-law's duplex was moving out. So we thought, can we move next door and continue to save with more space and off-street parking? My father-in-law talked to my husband about having his brother live with us, and we moved next door and implied it would help him get on his feet to save and be able to move into his own place. I was very apprehensive. 1, I wanted to live with my husband alone. I was over having roommates. And 2, we were getting a puppy soon after move-in day, which we already got okayed with father-in-law. So basically, we moved in. Things for the first 6 months to 2 years were fine. My husband and I did a lot of cleaning originally when we first moved in because my brother-in-law works for my father-in-law as a cleanup carpenter. This means he gets to do the tedious work. Help put up siding, painting walls, cleaning up after the crew, just minimal things. Now that we're done, the backstory. Things started to progress. My brother-in-law pays 1/3 of rent. We pay the other 2/3 of rent. All the bills are in my husband or I's names. Brother-in-law does not clean up after himself. He only cleans the bathroom for a common room area, maybe once a month. He doesn't leave the house except for work, and he only works 2 to 3 days a week, sometimes doesn't work at all for weeks at a time. When he does work, it's only for 3 to 4 hours. We've been having problems having equal time in the living room area. My husband and I paid for the furniture, movies, and pretty much everything we bought together. I work 5 days a week, 40 hours. Sometimes I do overtime, which brings me to 60. My husband is a tattoo artist who works 28 hours per week, but summers he works up to 50 hours a week. I don't mind that he has a lighter schedule because I love that he has found his passion early in life, whereas I work my job because it's a job. It's not something I love to do, but I do it because it makes good money. My brother-in-law and I have a couple of spats, fighting for non-northerners. My husband and I fight my brother-in-law over minimalistic things. Can you bring out your cardboard when you go to work? Which I'm subtly asking, please take out your soda boxes and pizza boxes instead of waiting for a week to pass by. Can you wipe down the stove and clean your pans after you use them? Can you clean up after yourself when you cook a meal? Wipe down the stove because we just spent all day cleaning and cleaned the inside and top of the stove. My husband and I took his brother in. Sorry. It's so comfortable. Now I know how they, went for weeks with these on. My husband and I took his brother in to be considerate of his father and stepmother-in-law. Brother-in-law feels these aren't really serious things to be considerate of others you're living with. But anytime anything is brought up to brother-in-law, he complains to my husband's father. Anytime my husband talks to my father-in-law, he tells him that he doesn't want to be involved. It's getting to the point where whenever I work 8 to 4, I know brother-in-law is going to be home when I get home. I go to my husband and I's room where me and the 2 dogs hang out till my husband gets home. I work Sundays from 4 p.m. to midnight. When my husband leaves for work at noon, that's my time alone. I get 2.5 hours to hang out with my pups and then get ready for work. My brother-in-law knows my schedule because it's been on 4 years of now living together. I write our appointments on the calendar next to the fridge. I realize he's probably lonely because I know for a fact the only friend he has is his dad and my husband. He cut off his high school friends and stopped hanging out with them because he quit drinking, and they kept drinking when they were in college, which was 10 years ago. How do I explain to my brother-in-law that I get he wants to spend time with family, but just because I pay 1/3 of the living space... How do I explain to my brother-in-law that I get he wants to spend time with family, but because I pay 1/3 of the living space, I should get the 2.5 hours of living room time on Sundays? I am just not understanding his thought process or how to address the situation with him in a constructive way. Any input would be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance. Woof. Okay. This is a pretty simple one. Get out of there. Get out. Get out. Get out of it. The problem here is that I don't know that you have the power to kick him out. That's the tough part. You've gotten yourself into a little bit of a pickle where you don't have ultimate control about who lives with you, and that sucks. But one way or another, you got to get out. Either you get out by not living in something that is owned by the father-in-law or father, or you get his permission to split this thing up, because you're living with someone who, I mean, think about this a little bit longer. You're 33 and 31, been married for 2 years after meeting 10 years ago. At some point, maybe you want to have kids. You have dogs right now, and it gets really awkward with someone else there that you aren't really comfortable with. And then he's not there because like he is like a little brother to your husband, and you feel like you need to take care of him and XYZ. It wasn't his choice. It was something that was forced onto you guys, which is why it's awkward. It wasn't your choice, really. You reluctantly said yes. It is going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to get increasingly uncomfortable until something changes. Unfortunately, those things that could change are something bad happens. Car alarm going off right in front of our studio here. That's excellent. Cool. Either something bad happens or you guys come to some kind of understanding, and the understanding is unlikely to happen based on what you've described so far. So I think get out. Just get out. That's where it's going to lead anyway. Just get out. You are not the asshole for wanting time away from your brother-in-law. We'll make that official here with an NTA. However, I think you should want all the time and all the space and just get away from him, period. Are you girls out? What are you doing? Oh, you guys hit the one. Okay, she was just waving at me. I didn't know what it meant. I can't hear what you. Okay, gotcha. You guys hit it. You guys hit the bolt goal to meet or to get some Candy Thunder time and time with the girls on here. Heck yes. Let me give some thanks here real quick. We'll keep the stream going so we can deliver on that. I thought you guys were leaving or something. I didn't know what was happening there. The quick calling audibles on me, guys. I'm so confused. TLS Journey, Sappy Angel, Dylan Sprague, Pam K, Ruby Redhead, Bama Chef Mel, Hazel Love, Not That Ellen, Econ Lawyer, Laura, Fane 86, Mungao, Simply Peachy, Kelly Ann, Young at Heart, Crazy Once More, Becky Morby, Amber Reed, Mama Jams. We got Chesh, Christine Baby, Christine Brady. Sorry, I just saw baby. Christine Baby. Tony Spark, Twinkle Sass, Jackie D, Nakano, Kirishima, Maven Loves, Crafts of Paradise, Piotr, Snowman Electra, Snowman Collector. There, I get it every time. It tricks me up. Silver Moon Angel, Ember, Brenda Bell, Rosie Perkins, Love Me, Blessed Mama, ×3, Miles Griff, Carissa Wyke, and Hearts of Courage. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciated. Let me bring on to the stage here. It's not really a stage, but it's a stage. We've got Candy Thunder, Ava Thunder, and Kieran Thunder here. Y'all step right up.
So I brought my babies back with me. Hold on. Oh. Make sure Kieran's in here. Okay. Love her. Yeah. Love her. Thank you guys so much for hitting the goal. That was so fast. That was awesome. Yes. The financial update was crazy. So I think those kind of update stories where they have so many updates to them, I think is what we're going to do for the YouTube membership that we're getting ready to launch. Me? Okay. All of us. Yes, Ava is definitely my mini-me. Yes, Michelle, we're going to post the update as soon as Caden or Miles gets it edited for us. Yes. Yes, so these Dustin's and mine, but they are 5 weeks apart. So when we got together, they were both 4 years old and have been sisters since. Sisters/best friends, but fight like sisters. Three Musketeers, yes. So Navy was actually the tipping point to have more girls in the house than boys. And yes, we actually, Dustin and I own a small business together, and then we run this, which is definitely like a business together. So, and we do that. It's all family oriented. They do have the coolest parents ever. Thank you for telling that to them.
This is Bob.
Somebody said
Bob.
they have the coolest parents ever.
You guys do.
They
Absolutely.
don't believe that.
Yeah. How do you
100%.
not believe that? I don't understand. What's Katie Thunder? What's your favorite memory with the girls?
You know, it really was the Taylor Swift concert. Getting to see them like in their teenage mode, versus when we went a few years ago when they were a lot younger. That was thrilling for me. They were dancing, joy, like just complete joy, and I love seeing it. You know who else was complete joy? Tony Spark was complete joy. Loved seeing it.
Might have shed a few tears.
Yes.
Just a few.
Yes. And I love like our girl days when we get to go shopping or just go get our nails done or something like that. Those are my favorite times.
Here's a question for you both. We've talked about it before, but it was in a project that got scrapped because of the tech room ones. How has this content and us doing this changed anything for you? Have friends noticed? Do people ask you about it? Do people know about it?
No.
Here, talk. Step up and talk there.
Yeah, it's talking.
Kieran just says no.
My cheer coaches asked me about it. My cheer coaches asked me about it.
And that's pretty much it. See, we talked about this before, but where we live, pretty sure that no one knows or cares, which is kind of cool. So it's cool for you guys. You guys are like, I don't want somebody coming up and being like, is that your dad?
It's happened before.
They'll be like, oh my God, it's Kieran Thunder.
We have, we're a blended family. We have 5 kids. So, and one Navy Thunder is our only one together. My most embarrassing moment.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just basically my everyday life. I just
They went
roll
to
around on
Philadelphia.
embarrassing moments.
I went to the Philadelphia.
Oh, nice.
Lucky ducky.
Lucky ducky, she says.
I will say that the bathroom door has come open on me while I was peeing, and I didn't realize that it was open.
In public.
On a Black Friday shopping experience. This was like years ago, and like all these women were just staring at me, but no one got up to but no one stepped up to like help me shut the door. So I was like, I don't know what I would do in that moment if I just saw someone with the door open peeing. I didn't know it was open, so yeah, it was.
How did you not know a bathroom stall?
Well, because I was hovering, not covering, and I just didn't see it.
Took all of our focus to
Yeah,
hover.
yeah.
Took all of the focus.
I had to go really bad. Black Friday, it was so busy. It was, most embarrassing moment for me, but. Okay.
I don't think they can see it that far away. Here, this is. Oh, pull focus. I thought I had it on autofocus. It's all right. It's Michael Scott. That's what she said. Okay,
All right,
I'll go
we're
ahead
gonna
and
go
shut
in
it
and
down
I
here.
stuck my
Thank you,
tongue out
guys.
and there was a heart in my
2
hand.
times. You guys got up there 2 times today. Look at that. Good job, girlies. You guys are awesome. We're at 107% of that goal already here, so a lot of you guys are still rocking it on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We are going to flip over and do the VIP live here shortly. Give us about 10 minutes to get set up for that. We'll run about a half hour with it. Thank you so much for all the support and the love today and for being here. We greatly appreciate you being here. We have a couple of leftover stories that we will move to the next live. So if you are an OP that I emailed and we didn't get to your story, don't worry. We will have it on the next one here. So thank you guys so much for sending those in. You guys are always fantastic. Let me get this guy back up here so we can dance our way out. VIPs, we'll see you here in a few. Somebody said, how can I get into the Facebook group? If you are a scribe, or if you're a scribe, back in the olden times, if you are one of the VIP members, you should have a message from me that has a link to that group. Now in TikTok messages, it's not link friendly, so you'll have to copy and paste that over to a browser. But if you don't have that and you are one of the Storm VIP members, just shoot us a DM or let us know. Shoot us a message on the website if you need to, if you can't message us for some reason, and we'll make sure we get a link to you there. If you're a brand new member from today, after we do the VIP live sometime tonight, we will get a link to that VIP group sent out for you. So yes, we will have that there. Rook, love you, Dusty, from this Mo Girl transplanted to Southern AR. Work on your Twitch account. I will get on it. I will work on that. I'll get her done for you. Sheena Gibson, subscribe for month free to stay a member of the Storm. Thank you so much for hanging out with the fam. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.